So our last presentation before Richard does a 2-hour roundup, and we'll miss lunch, is by Kingfisher Insurance, call themselves Kingfisher Motor Trade, several other names under the Kingfisher brand. It's Steve Craddock.
Afternoon. I'm Steve Craddock from First Underwriting, who are part of the Kingfisher Group. I've worked in the insurance industry for nearly 30 years. Prior to First Underwriting, I was at Travellers Insurance Company, who were associated with AVRO. We used to write the AVRO scheme, so I'm well experienced in the recovery industry, especially when it comes to insurance. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak to you surrounding the insurance implications surrounding EVs and how that can impact you as recovery operators. As Richard said right at the start, I'm not here to tell you how to run your business. I'm here to purely point out the implications you are finding from EVs, impact on insurance, which can circle back to you in insurance costs. So Kingfisher is an insurance broker dealing with multiple insurers. At First Underwriting, we are one of those insurers. Over by the window there, a couple of my colleagues, Jim Knight, who works as broking, and Mark Bowers, who is marketing for Kingfisher Group. So, within the personal insurance market, EV renewals are becoming harder and harder to source. The prices are either going up through the roof, or you're finding that people just not insure them. That has an implication from a commercial perspective as well, because we are finding that we have costs when you cover vehicles. Insurers are pulling out the market also, and the factors affecting personal insurance and EVs are also impacting on you as recovery operators. So what exactly is going on? Why are these insurers putting up prices, pulling out, or stopping to do insurance altogether? The size and placement of batteries in the vehicles make them more vulnerable to damage than the equivalent. A lack of skilled technicians in the industry, the repair service industry, can mean it takes longer to source repairs, which means you guys are being asked to store vehicles for longer. EVs are more prone to strain on components, including brakes and suspension, can obviously mean that you guys get called out to do a recovery again, bring it back to your storage yard, you're being asked to store it for longer because of the previous bullet point. The weight of the EVs can cause issues as well, them going over potholes, causing additional damage because the plunk into the pothole is even harder and can cause additional damage to them. And as sales increase of these electric vehicles, it's putting additional strain on the service and repair industry, which again means you guys are bearing the cost of storing the vehicles for longer. So, inflation affects the insurance industry, believe it or not. It costs more for the repairers to repair the vehicles, which means it costs me in the insurance industry more to pay out when the damage has occurred to the vehicle. With electric vehicles being slightly more specialised and having more specialised parts in them, especially batteries, the cost of settling an EV claim can be 25% more expensive than an ICE vehicle. And it can take around 14% longer to repair an electric vehicle, increasing both the costs to us as an insurance industry, but to you as a recovery industry, because again, you're having to hold on to the EV for longer. So what are the specific risks to the recovery industry? Well, probably one of the biggest challenges, and my job's been made quite easy here, guys, because the previous presentations have said it all, to be perfectly honest with you, so I'll be fairly quick with this one. Fire. I mean, fire from the batteries, I mean, it's there, it's present, isn't it? You see it day in, day out. It happens in normal combustible engine cars. The liquid fire record claim has been cited once or twice today. Trouble with the electric vehicles, as we've seen, is they burn hotter, harder and longer. And they can reignite a lot more easily. So that is a real big challenge for you guys. The risk of the on-scene incident, it takes you guys longer to recover these vehicles because you haven't spent longer assessing what that vehicle damage is, what sort of vehicle is it a hybrid vehicle, is it a fully electric vehicle, is it a combustible engine vehicle? The longer you're on site, the bigger the cost to you guys. And again, people have spoken about it earlier about negotiating the contracts, etc. Potentially time to revisit those and get your fees ramped up because it's taking you longer to recover vehicles potentially. Transportation. I mean, the last thing you want to do, there was a guy earlier, last thing you want to do is put one of these damaged recovery vehicles on the back of your recovery truck, get half a mile down the road, find that the little metal spot to get to the battery again, that vehicle goes up, you don't want to lose your recovery truck, do you? So how do you transport these vehicles? It's an ever-emerging risk for you guys. Storage. Again, it's been cited that 15 metres space between vehicles. I think, quite frankly, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, you can't store a vehicle on the ground and then 15 metres further up in the air, but you can't equally do 15 metres space because you're going to lose so much income, as was highlighted in the previous presentation. Again, they spend more time being stored at your premises at little cost to you guys because you don't get the benefit of the storage fees because you've already negotiated the contract. If you've brought that vehicle in for free from a industry body, if you have to store it for longer and longer, that's taking up space which you could be charging out to someone else. And any accidents arising from these electric vehicle fires at your premises or on the back of your recovery truck need to be factored into the insurance cost potentially. The more electric vehicle contracts you guys are being asked to do, me as an insurer, I'm potentially having to look at how much do I need to put into the fund to pay for these potential claims. You guys are going to have to pay for that somewhere. You're having to pay for the storage of the vehicles. You're also having to pay for the insurance premium on the other side. Believe it or not, insurance is not a bottomless pit, which you guys will know to just fund claims. We need to make sure that we've got enough money to fund for the buildings we work in, our wages and everything else, plus pay the claims when really needed for you guys. I mean, there's just an incident of a fire there, we've all seen them, we've seen the videos earlier. I mean, the one Tom showed us earlier with the gas coming out, that was quite frightening really, isn't it? So, it's like, be very wary where you're storing these vehicles. I mean, you guys are the experts, you know it all anyway, but the pressure you guys are being put on is just unbelievable to be perfectly honest with you, I have to say. Ultimately, I'm here to help provide your insurance needs, but the more risk you take on, the potential is I need to look at the premiums and make sure that I'm getting enough funds to pay for if we do get a lease event or something like that happen at your premises. You're going to need that to be paid for, and ultimately I need to take on board that risk and make sure that I'm getting enough funds in the pot for it. The biggest thing you can do is mitigate the risks. So, again, at the moment, you've got to store at 15 metres apart. How are you going to cope with that? But do you even take on the contract to do a load of electric vehicle recovery? Potentially that's something you might need to consider, but that's not for me to tell you. I'm not here to preach. I'm just here to tell you how, if you take on more electric vehicles, it might impact on insurance costs. How long are you going to have that vehicle in your storage facility? Potentially, if there is a clause in your policy wording that says you need to follow all government legislation, if you don't, and a claim were to happen, it may invalidate your insurance. That's the last thing you want, because the more of these electric vehicles you take on, it can impact your business. If your insurance doesn't pay because of a little bit of small print, that's catastrophic to you guys, isn't it? You really do not want that happening. So we've all seen how these vehicles can reignite once, even if they've been immersed in water, snow. Was it for 14 days, I think it was? This vehicle's under snow and it's still caught alight again. That's just massive for you guys. And if you're being asked to store them for longer and longer, that's just crazy. It has such an impact on you, really, really can. We are experts in insurance. We're here to help. We are here to provide insurance solutions for you guys, but we need to make sure that we're working together. We are here to work. Jim is fantastic. I don't know how many of you know Jim from the room, probably lots of you already. He's fantastic and gives great advice, and we're here to help, but let's make sure we all work together as insurance, for recovery, and all the bodies to make sure that we're making your business sustainable and, most importantly, as affordable as possible. Thank you.
Hopefully today has been informative, practical, and to some extent empowering to your own individual decision making. Consider all the information that's been taken or given today. The long-term objective is to bring our stakeholders on board and instigate a basic understanding of the problems we face together. I see Ben and Chris over there gasping for air. Ray Coleman's buying any companies that don't see a future for themselves. But there are really good things that we've got to consider. This isn't a rates game. There's no trade unions, no collective demands. We're in this together. We've got to face these risks. We've got to face this impact together. All stakeholders need to accept and consider the health and safety aspects that will be implemented, affecting all of the police contracts, stat fees, and motoring organisation contracts. I know certain motoring clubs consider AEVs to be covered as standard, and the car manufacturers are giving away free roadside assistance with all new EVs. Free. You tell me one thing that you've heard today about anything that is free. I should cocoa. Insurers have caught a massive cold insuring EVs, and we can't let their cold our pandemic. We've got to mitigate our risks, look at our contractors. In the meantime, insurers are trebling their own premiums outside. The public, some of them can't get insured, and some of their premiums are going up. If you own Range Rovers and things like that, and they're electric, you're lucky if you can even get insurance, especially in London. So, they've caught a cold, we don't want it. Police contracts are being viewed the same as AA managed police schemes. One of the big problems that we've had, or no, I wouldn't say it's a problem, but the communications are. Look at the people that we've been speaking to. These are our strategic partners, and these are the people that were present at our summit. And these are the people that we were having dialogue. We've got people here today from the police, from the home workers. We've been speaking to the home workers about bringing the review of electric vehicles into stat fees forward, because we really can't wait till 2025. But the Home Office have been proactive. They're here again today, and they're listening to everything that we're talking about. And so hopefully we'll be able to bring that review forward. The police are here, and I speak to Terry all the time. I can't tell you how much of a help the National Police Chiefs Council have been in this industry, because they're open for business and they talk to us all the time. But the message that I get all the time when we're speaking to the police and other aspects of this industry is that we are our own worst enemies. And whilst we might take on all this information today, and for the first time, the information being passed to you today hasn't come from me or just Derek or whatever. These are experts in their fields. These understand the marketplaces and these understand what is coming to you. If anyone's got more experience in breakdown, rescue and recovery than Mick Burke, I'm yet to meet that person. And his excellent presentation hits home to us what we face. And it's up to you what you want to do about it. But I have to emphasise to you, it's becoming a watershed. And if, after all the work we've done, putting everything together, the standards, the white papers, speaking to all these people, and now we're not only speaking with these people, we're doing it from a united stance, where the whole industry is singing from the same sheet. And we're no longer a banana republic, we're a professional, emergency, essential service. And what's been happening to the motor industry and what's been forced upon us, we cannot allow to happen. But it's up to you. But if people continue to stay in a marketplace that's not economically viable, then those people will turn their backs on us. Because they can only help us and go so far. And the rest is up to you and how you respond to that. Today has been about informing our industry unilaterally about the challenges that we face. And we've got support from the Home Office, we've got support from the police, we've got some support from our work providers. But we all have to work together to understand that this industry is not being properly underwritten. And our insurers, who we pay premiums to, are also our paymasters. And they understand what's going on. But if we're willing to continue working how we're working and thinking nothing's going to happen until tomorrow or the next day, then it's our funeral. And people have always moaned about no one's doing anything, no one's doing anything, no one's helping us. Well now, we are, they are. The rest is up to you. Go back to your businesses, look at your balance sheets, look at your futures, discuss your future premiums. Because it's up to you. We can't help you no more. We want to help. And as I said, the police, Home Office, fire chiefs, everybody is kicking in.
Sorry to interrupt, but we're a small company. Now, we would store 100 cars for the police. On going to these routes at 15 metre square, if we go back to the police service in Northern Ireland and say, like, this is what we should be doing, they'll just say, if you don't like it, walk away.
And what do you expect me to say? It's your business, your area of expertise. You go back and you tell them that they can either have you keep you or you can keep them. I don't want to make that decision for you, nor will I try. You've got to go back. Because in the meantime, you're talking about the police, the National Police Youth Council are also. There's a review. Terry, is there a review coming up? Right? And all the information is going back to them. And back me up here, Cheryl. Is what I'm saying right, or is it wrong?
No, it's absolutely right. It's long overdue, long overdue. And we don't expect recovery operators to be undertaking any of our work for free. We've never said that.
No, I don't want this to turn into a debate. Basically, at the end of the day, we're giving you the information. What you do with it isn't our responsibility. We can only play our part in the industry and tell you what's coming. And the thing about it is that the police contractors you're going back to Ireland to see, I know what they've been like in Northern Ireland. I think I'll try to support in helping you get the stack fees over there and raising your costs, because I understand. You know, it's brilliant to see people from Northern Ireland here today because they realise the seriousness. And to be honest, you've been left out in the cold in your charges and the way your police schemes are run. But because we're part of the national, they're our strategic partners, we're feeding that evidence-based information into them. And so you can go back and say to them, look, this isn't just me saying it, the whole industry is saying it, and your council is saying it as well. So that's what you go back and say. The decision after that is up to you. But I'm not going to do 2 or 3 hours about any of it. Today was about giving you the information. Today was about giving you a platform to understand. We understand what's going on. I'm a VRO as well, believe it or not. And I won't have EVs, I won't have Teslas in my yards. God forbid I lose a porta cabin. But I just won't have them. So I make that commercial decision, and I tell my staff to carry that out, right? Because, as I think it was you that said, that if something goes wrong and we haven't carried out the right thermal checks or gone through the right health and safety, we can lose our business in 1 minute and find out that we're not insured for it. So what I want you to do is go back with a positive view, with knowing that you're being supported, that the evidence-based information is going through to the powers that be, and that you've got something that backs up what you say, about what you can do, what you can't charge, or what you can charge. And in the meantime, as Derek alluded to earlier on, we are going to, with help from the Home Office, hopefully trying to persuade them to bring the review forward for EVs, because we can't afford to go through 2024 charging what we're charging, especially at these storage rates. But also, looking to try and get some sort of levy from the manufacturers. They are the ones making these cars, they are the ones importing these cars, and they are the ones saying roadside rescue and recovery for free. And then our friends at the AA are saying that EV coverage is standard. Well, when we know it's not. But once again, they're all commercial decisions. You know, you look around this room, and it's brilliant to see the big operators here, financial, business, experienced men in this field. They're here today, and they will go back and make the decisions, as will you, and as will all of us. All we're here to do is, as much as we can, to join up the industry with the government, have the voices that we have with the government now, give them that representation, do it as a united industry. And I'll tell you what, we will make movements, we will get better rates, but it's up to you to get them. We won't get them for you, get them yourselves. I hope you found the day informative, worth being stuck in traffic. And all I'll say is thanks for coming. It's great to have the industry back together again. Thank you to the police, the Home Office, National Highways, all the people that support us. And thank you for the brilliant jobs you do. And now you can do it safely with red lights. Enjoy your lunch. Thanks for coming.